Hello, welcome back to Let's Play Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic as we continue on with our adventures. So we freed what's his name? It's been like a month for me, so pardon me if I'm not quite up to speed. All right, we freed Matin from his enslavement, and we were busy clearing out the jungle floor. So we're going to get back to doing that. You must gather your party before venturing forth. There she is. All right. Now, if I remember right, there was a locked container, and that's why I went back and got mission. Brains. Oh. Yeah, I suppose it makes sense that I looted it already. Backpack. Is this a static one, or is this something... Okay. Suppose I shouldn't be surprised that I looted everything already, but refuse pile small. Did I loot this? Yes, okay. Anyways, I think there was, if I remember right, there was a locked container by the hunters who are gathering Tach glands. And I know Mission's brother wanted to Tach gland, so my hope is that Mission can get us into that container and we can get the Tach gland without having to hunt the Tachs themselves, like what they wanted us to do. I think it was this way. Heady-ho. Man, nature is loud. Okay, I was going to say that definitely looks like a artificial construct, and it is. That's support beams for this gigantic fucking walkway, which it seems kind of unreasonable that these are so big. I mean, maybe if they're, I guess, hauling really, really big animals up from the jungle floor, it would make sense. But otherwise, Kashyyyk doesn't, at least this village in particular, doesn't seem to be very populated, so it doesn't seem like there's a good reason for these walkways to be so huge. You know, it's not like the middle of New York where you need giant sidewalks for people to pass by. Yes, please do so. Alright, now let's see if we can find that container. Boy, I don't know if it's darker because the brightness is fucking with me again, or if it's because I'm playing this in a very extremely lit room, which unfortunately my options are blinding light or no light, and well, I do like to not trip over things in the dark, so. But, alright, we got a Tach, another corpse. You know, I will say these monkeys remind me a lot of the space monkeys from Mass Effect 1 in particular. I think they had cameos in 2 and maybe 3. But I remember there were monkeys, and there was even a quest where you had to get something from a monkey, and you could be peaceful or you could be violent about it. Alright, let's check the map. Does it show it on here? Zerka Hunting Ground. Okay, that's what we want. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Oh, that's right. She can help us pick up all these mines, too. So we got opportunities for profit. There we go. All right. And what do we got here?
Gotcha. Simple.
Light repeating blaster. Hey, Tach glands. All right, we'll pick up some more of these frag mines then. So that'll be a good source of income. Come on. Oh, no. Okay. It was just a flashbang and we resisted it, so that's good. I assume, yeah, that's the force field. All right, so let's actually head back now. Yeah, we can't. We can go to, because at this point I just want to deliver the Tach glands right to Mission's brother and be done with that quest. I think he'll shake us down for some more money too, of which we have some. Which we don't have to give to him, but we will because we're suckers being light side users. Alright, that's not what I wanted. This is what I wanted. Come on, there we go. Yeah, that's what I thought. Alright. Man, I will say, as much as I don't like screen blurring, we've come a long way from having this being our blur effects. Alright. Take me back up. Just take me up. Alright, now to the village, because from there we can fast travel to the Ebon Hawk, and then from there we can go to Tatooine, and I think that should be our last loose end on the planet. Alright. Where are we? Holy crap, it's that far? I may as well just walk back to the Zerka dock. Oh, well, we should see if we picked up any. I don't think we picked up any ID cards, but we should check with the supply station just in case. It sure would be nice if we did. We got flash mine, okay. Alright, what do you got for us, Circus Supply Station? Otherwise, Mission might be leveled up enough she could just crack those, maybe.
Huh?
Gotcha. Simple.
Yeah. Okay, they definitely weren't even... It's not even super great.
Gotcha. Simple.
I mean, some of it's okay, but... You can do 8 spikes. If we brought Nick Droid, we could probably get it down to 4. Which I don't even know how many spikes we have, even. Da, 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 da. Boop, 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 11. We have 11. Yeah, so that we might get a little bit of XP for it, but I don't think it'd be worth it. All right. Now, the village being a safe zone, we should be able to teleport back to the Ebon Hawk here. And we'll get him his Tach glands. I suppose we should go through and talk to everyone and make sure. I think this basically completes mission's story arc. Talk to him after Tatooine. I know HK-47 story arc basically concludes itself at the end of the game, but you can get some additional insights earlier by repairing him. T3M4 doesn't have a story arc because he's the true neutral, always follow you companion. Bastila with her mother, well, her story arc's not concluded. Her mother's like the halfway point. And then I know Karth still has some stuff for us. So let's go to Tatooine. I'm actually impressed we've managed to not get intercepted by Sith interceptors for once, so that's a good sign. I want to go this way. All right. Well, we're going to take mission, obviously. And then I suppose... You know what? Let's keep her with Juhani. They should have something to talk about, you'd think. We're level 13, huh? Okay.
Welcome back. Is there something I can do for you?
Nope, I'm just passing through. Thank you.
As you wish. If you need anything else, I'll be here.
He was just standing there that I kind of expected him to say something. I think we looted these, yeah. Alright, let's get going. You don't have anything for me, do you?
Tatooine's a dust bowl, and that's all it'll ever be.
You're right about that. Okay, just so many people standing there expectantly. Like, they want you to come up and talk to them and offer to help them for a minor reward. He's still here. Oh, that's hilarious that he's still in memory. And that they even bothered to save him in the save game state. Because I remember him. Last time we were at Tatooine, he, does he actually transition to the docking bay? I assume now he'll just disappear from the world. But I remember he gave us like a a little note saying, "Hey, come here, come alone on Manan." All right, let's go see Mission's brother. I thought he was somewhere around. Oh, here he is. I'll find him. I thought he said he was going to be hanging around the Zerka office. Oh, he's just inside. Griff, that's his name. Now I remember.
You're back! I knew you'd come through for me. I knew I could count on you. You do have a tech land for me, right?
Here's the tech land. Take it.
Come to Papa, you sweet simian organ. It may not look like much, but once I turn this into a bottle of Torresian ale, it'll end up being worth a fortune. Thanks, Mission. You won't regret helping me out with this.
Please, Griff, let this be the last time. No more cons, no more scams, no more schemes. That's all I ask.
Hey, sis, no need to worry about that. I've turned over a new leaf. From now on, I'm gonna stay out of trouble and do things right. And once we've cornered the market on Torresian ale, good things will be heading my way. Then I'll make it up to you, Mission. Just wait, you'll see. You know, once we synthesize this and start brewing Torresian ale in mass quantities, we're gonna be looking for some investors. You give me a couple of 100 credits, and I can get you in on the ground floor. You'll get a return of, at least 20 times your investment.
Fine. Oh, you already promised me a few thousand credits.
Hey, don't worry, you'll get your credits as soon as we start mass producing that Torresian ale. I just wanted to know if you were interested in an even bigger payoff.
Fine, here's 200 credits.
Wise move. I can see you really understand how business works. Now, when you see your chance, you jump it in, huh? That's my motto. I better get started on brewing that ale. Meet me back here later, and I'll have a down payment on what I owe you.
All right, well, he didn't ask for as much as I thought, so we've got that going for us at least. But we are saying goodbye to that money. I suppose I could try my hand at the swoop racing. Swoop, swoop, swoop. There we go. This must be the places of all the swoops. All right. Ba-ba-ba-ba. We will save a new game. 3839.
Rundi hautonga ton kimba ng kongkek. Wana kumbes chimpayamuri kunhunkabi. Tuknen tangjo kunne mulirabest.
Let's talk about swoop racing.
Laboda na rinkis maktona. Yinkin slimmo podona mulera chikun. Nova rundi hautonga kuhunkabi.
Just set me up with a race.
Laboda na rinkis maktona. Yinkin slimmo podona mulera chikun. Nova rundi hautonga kuhunkabi.
Do you negotiate on the price?
Rundi hautonga ton kimba ng kongkek. Wana kumbes chimpayamuri kunhunkabi. Tuknen tangjo kunne mulirabest.
Alright, I'll pay the 100.
Rundi hautonga ton kimba ng kongkek. Wana kumbes chimpayamuri kunhunkabi. Tuknen tangjo kunne mulirabest. Ka jubayo kula wish tu chongo atakuchu. Yukarel gratuk bograuna. Bograti toki gratuk. Jewe tong tima. Lagoda na rinkis maktona. Yinkin slimmo podona mulera chikun. Nova rundi hautonga kuhunkabi.
All right, so 23 seconds is our time to beat. All right. No. Oh, wow. Barely missed it. Yeah, this is why I saved. But that is beatable. I know I kind of, right around the middle, I kind of fudged it up. Let's try that again. All right. There we go. Wish I could save after that dialogue so I don't have to repeat it every time. Oh, missed that one. Missing all of these. Wow, I shaved 2 milliseconds off my time. What the fuck? I know I fuck up again in the middle, but cool, we got this bug again. All right. Oh, there we go. I fucked up again. Oh, it actually shows what gear we're in, too, on the side. I never noticed that because most of the time I'm too busy trying to, you know. There we go. Trying to focus on the race. Ah, there we go. 5 milliseconds. That's all I need. What sort of business did you say you needed help with? Aren't there other racers? Why him? I think you should give him a better deal. Treat him fairly or I'll start rumors your races are rigged. You want to give Nico a better deal. Let's go back to some basic questions about Nico.
Inkin slimma podona mulerachikun. Nova runde hautunga kuhunkavi.
Why won't he sign?
Rundi hautunga tonkimbanan kunkek. Wanna kumbes chimpayamuri kunhunkavi. Tuknen tangjo kunne mulirabest.
That isn't fair. On Terra's, you had to give a cut to the Swoop Gang sponsoring you, but at least the rider got the higher share of the winnings.
Labuda na rinkis maktona. Inkin slimma podona mulerachikun. Nova rundi hautunga kuhunkavi. Rundi hautunga tonkimbanan kunkek. Wanna kumbes chimpayamuri kunhunkavi. Tuknen tangjo kunne mulirabest.
I'm not interested in being your enforcer.
Rundi hautunga tonkimbanan kunkek. Wanna kumbes chimpayamuri kunhunkavi. Tuknen tangjo kunne mulirabest. Labuda na rinkis maktona. Inkin slimma podona mulerachikun. Nova rundi hautunga kuhunkavi.
I'll be back later.
Rundi hautunga tonkimbanan kunkek. Wanna kumbes chimpayamuri kunhunkavi. Tuknen tangjo kunne mulirabest.
Alright, let's save and reload so we aren't glitching through the world. Hopefully it'll fix on reload. Because I'm pretty sure it messed up on reload, so... Okay, come on, guys. This isn't funny anymore.
Huh?
There we go. Okay. We'll be right back, because this game is going to shit, apparently. Alright, there we go. It took 3 tries to get this to work right, because first it crashed when I re-injected the widescreen fix. Then my HUD elements were all centered on like a screen this size, but I still had the full 1080 view. But now we are back, so why don't we race one more time?
Rundi hautunga tonkimbanan kunkek. Wanna kumbes chimpayamuri kunhunkavi. Tuknen tangjo kunne mulirabest.
Let's talk about swoop racing.
Labuda na rinkis maktona. Inkin slimma podona mulerachikun. Nova rundi hautunga kuhunkavi.
Just set me up with a race.
Labuda na rinkis maktona. Inkin slimma podona mulerachikun. Nova rundi hautunga kuhunkavi.
I will pay the 100 credits.
Rundi hautunga tonkimbanan kunkek. Wanna kumbes chimpayamuri kunhunkavi. Tuknen tangjo kunne mulirabest. Labuda na rinkis maktona. Inkin slimma podona mulerachikun. Nova rundi hautunga kuhunkavi. Motadahat rundi ikchawa tombola joniku. Yomawa maniboba lorda wishwanga shachi.
Alright, so we gotta beat 26.5 seconds. Alright. Come on, baby. Oh, missed. Damn it. Oh, I did the stupid thing. Oh, fuck. Or sorry, 22.5 seconds. We did way better that time. But, damn it. Yeah. But, Fuck. Anyway, to go through some of my reasoning with, I was trying to convince him to give him a fair rate for that other racer. Come on. There we go. But obviously my persuade options weren't working. So what I tried to do was exit in a way where I wasn't accepting the quest. So I would hopefully, because sometimes in RPGs, if you like take the quest, like if there's a persuade option, but then you take the quest, or sometimes even if you do walk away and try to take it later, those persuade options disappear. And that's what I was trying to avoid there. It looks like I still have at least one of the persuade options. Yeah, I think so, right? Did we win?
Hautong kimba ng kongkek. Wana kumbes chimpayamul kunhungkabi. Tuknen tangjo kunne mulirabes jibedwana ni bobo. Tong nanuung sha nunjang. Muchitito aki jijaku.
Alright, I'll be back later.
Rundi hautong ratong kimba ng kongkek. Wana kumbes chimpayamul kunhungkabi. Tuknen tangjo kunne mulirabes.
Alright, journal entry added. So we do have signing Nico. Bot of the Hut wants you to help him bully the young racer Nico into a very restrictive racing contract. That's under completed. Tatooine Swoop Racing. You are now the champion of the Swoop track of Tatooine, having won all 3 official time tiers.
Tangabun shan nang. Wanga kun biskin ba mularak. Choni yun tun gigi either dwana. Kava volpa mulji gumana. Smilia. Ti ompa do punta krita. Dopa na otobas casa.
Oh, I have all sorts of necessary skills. I just wanted to ask a few questions if you have the time.
Mucho shakapaka. Yi ki kon no ba muladraki chichon.
I want to ask about you and racing.
Kakin cha na kwat na pon kon. Wana kumbes. Chi pala mulak. Tong ki pa nagnonek. Tu nikton chun chun ki nemolek rabest. Uf mala nibo kurk.
How long have you been at this?
Tanga bok sha nagnong. Kin kun shin kin. Nikin kun na bule mule raji kun. Chuni yun ni gigi aldwana. Kava volpa muli kumana.
Why did you change your racing name?
Kakin cha na kwat na bon kon. Wana kumbes. Chi pala mulak. Tong ki pa nagnonek. Tu nikton chun ki nemolek rabest. Uf mala nibo kurk. Mucho shakapaka. Yi ki kon no ba muladraki chichon.
Is this the best place for racing?
Tanga bok sha nagnong. Kin kun shin kin. Nikin kun na bule mule raji kun. Chuni yun ni gigi aldwana. Kava volpa muli kumana. Kakin cha na kwat na pon kon. Wana kumbes. Chi pala mulak. Tong ki pa nagnonek. Tu nikton chun ki nemolek rabest. Uf mala nibo kurk. Mucho shakapaka. Yi ki kon no ba muladraki chichon.
If this track is so small, why bother?
Tanga bok sha nagnong. Kin kun shin kin. Nikin kun na bule mule raji kun. Chuni yun ni gigi aldwana. Kava volpa muli kumana. China pala mule. Tong ki ba non tontek. Tunni chachon kun ne mule rabast.
What can you tell me about the other racers?
Tanga bok sha nagnong. Kin kun shin kin. Nikin kun na bule mule raji kun. Chuni yun ni gigi aldwana. Kava volpa muli kumana. kakin cha na kwat na pon kon. Wanakumbes, chi pala mulek, tong ki pa nagnonek, tu nikton chud chun ke nemolek rabest, wuf mala nibo kurk.
What makes you say that?
Mucho shakapaka, ye ki kon no ba mula draki chichon.
What do you think about that?
China pala mule, tong ki ba non tontek, tun ni chachon kun ne mule rabast. Mucho shakapaka, ye ki kon no ba mula draki chichon.
I have to leave. Goodbye.
China pala mule, tong ki ba non tontek, tun ni chachon kun ne mule rabast.
And also with you. Alright, who else do we got here? Generic Swoop Racer. Generic Swoop Groupie.
Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Agi inko tune chunamuri ra. Tangi wama jiko na. Tonki pa nonku nek abog.
Can I hear what the track records are?
Chiwa aita kang kicha na chukornibo. Kun muri ra slimo poiwanga. Tangi wama ji human act in ikatune.
What do you have on me?
Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Agi inko tune chunamuri ra. Tangi wama jiko na. Tonki pa nonku nek abog.
So I improved by less than a second to take this championship. That's what separates the boys from the men, apparently, for this track, is less than 1 second.
Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Agi inko tune chunamuri ra. Tangi wama jiko na. Tonki pa nonku nek abog.
Oh, thanks. Goodbye.
Baba Hassan shan. No ba muri ra jilai kuka.
There's Garm.
Oh, hi. You another racer then? I heard someone new was talking to Mata. Always room for more, I guess. Nice job beating my times, too. I guess my heart isn't in the racing. Contracts are distracting stuff.
Bye.
All right, see you around the track.
I will talk to you later. Oh, there's Yukaril. I think I talked to those two already. Yeah, let's move on. I want to get back and see if Mission's brother.
Mucho shakpakat. Kieno no namapaule rachikun.
What? My auto print? Are you serious?
Ronda di hotonga kun honkabi. Wana kun bez ching balamule tungking ba nunotek. Tugning chatukun ne mulerabes. Ka chikun ita hodonga. Iking kuno ba mulerachikun. Slimo podona rundi hodonga ku hunkabe.
Sure, why not? Scan away.
Tolpa da pongwale kando na gugu chukchut. Kabadum ku pelio botenya. Bonanay kuchu. Hawaga boska chokola. Mucha shag panka. Takom jus tach miki grabal mogo. Kachi ita hodunga.
Interesting. I don't think I ever got far enough in Swoop Racing when I played this as a kid to actually get a signature. I'm going the wrong way. I imagine he'll show up again if we win the Manan circuit. I don't think there's another circuit because I don't think Korban has a circuit and Terrace is gone. Well, hi, Griff. All right, I think we need to... Let's see if we leave and come back. Okay, now he's despawned. I like how these people are kind of sticking around when they shouldn't be.
Ki mulira kun kin. Tong hitwama ag inko tune.
I don't like the sound of this.
Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Agi inko tune chuna muri ra tangit wama jiko na. Donki pa nonku nek abog.
I'm not surprised. Anything else?
Chiwa aita kang kicha na jupornibo. Kun muri ra slimo poiwanga tangit wama ji human ak in ikatune.
Did he say where he was going?
Topa na oto vokasa. Pampa ki muri ra kun kin. Chang waba chinyo shang wi chama ucha wish uyong kun. Just cranky to patslimo. Chi ita kanki chana kilikon. Kinba muri ra ji. Kinba no kun nikset abog.
Good riddance.
Just cranky to patslimo. Chi ita kanki chana kilikon. Kinba muri ra ji. Kinba no kun nikset abog.
Damn it, Griff. Won't you ever learn? How can my own flesh and blood be so stupid?
Chiwa aita kang kicha na jupornibo. Kun muri ra slimo poiwanga tangit wama ji human ak in ikatune.
Alright, mission, let's talk.
Hey there. What can I do for you? I want to thank you for helping me with Griff. You did everything you could for my brother. More than most people would have. I know it might look like it didn't make any difference in the end. Griff's in debt and on the run like usual. But at least I know we tried to help him.
Well, don't give up on him, mission. He could still change.
I know people can change no matter how bad they were, but I'm not holding my breath. None of us is perfect, but I've come to realize that Griff is a little less perfect than most. My brother is what he is, but I've learned to deal with that. I'll never forget that he looked after me when I was just a kid, but I don't feel like I owe him anything anymore.
That's a very mature attitude, mission.
I've made my peace with Griff and what he means to me. If he ever shows up again, I'll deal with him. But I'm not going to dwell on my brother anymore. It's time to move forward. So, is there anything else you need?
Nope, let's go on.
Okay, have it your way.
Alright, and we got light side points for giving him money that he ran off with. Alright. So now, well, we are on Tatooine. I do like how him leap, like, he hadn't despawned when we left and came back, so, like, we had to wait for him to despawn, leave, re-enter the re-trigger it, even though he was just there. Alright, let's bring HK-47 with us now. Alright, attributes. Dexterity, because he's a shooty Rudy Tooty boy. Remaining points, I guess repair. Let's split the difference between repair and demolitions. Beats battle droid logic upgrade. So, full experience with the rigorous combat. The droid is able to self-upgrade its tactical reasoning and maximize its defensive potential. This feat grants +6 to defense and is always active. This feat replaces the tactician logic upgrade. Okay, so... Okay, yeah, we'll just give him a fortitude upgrade there. Alright, and now he's can take level 3 droid upgrades, which I don't think we have any of, really. Honestly, he seems like the type who would use a disruptor rifle.
Yes?
Anyways, let's get rid of that Krayt Dragon Pearl we got. And then we can finish with the Sand People, and then we'll be done with this fucking Dust Bowl, as far as I'm aware, at least. Unless there's something I have to trigger for one of the other companions, because they do have, some of them do have a few more specific triggers than usual. So I do want to be wary about that. Hello, Gate Guard villain.
Oh, it's you again. I'll just let you pass. The boys in the office may need authorization in triplicate, but not me. Good hunting out there.
And actually, there is a little hunting we can do for raid plates. And also, I've learned in the meantime that I think the Yavin station gives the best prices for selling literally anything. So we'll be selling like all the racing bonds and stuff there, because I don't know why that is. Why does that keep hitching? That's kind of bugging me. This old game should not be hitching like that, but I don't know. Maybe it's stuttering me to let my party keep up or something. Anyways, the Yavin station offers the best prices for everything, which I don't know why. It might have been incentive to purchase the DLC, but which seems a little pay to win-ish, but okay. All right. Now that we've got our buffs, come on. There we go. I like how sonic weapons are always depicted as firing rings like that. Oh, hey, we leveled up. Oh, these guys are kind of fucking me up.
That is where the Jedi.
Okay, thanks for the heal. Alright. Hit him from behind. And of course he turns to face me. Alright. I like how they're already despawning. Anyways, level up. Skills. Persuade. And awareness. Powers. What do we got? We could take master speed. Defense is increased by 4. So that gives us an extra attack. This gives us immunity to poison. Saving throws are increased by 5 points. Let's see, what do we got? Throw lightsaber for range, force suppression, drain life, dark side, force push. We haven't been facing many Jedi, so I'll probably take Master Speed. Just to get that extra attack per round.
Ready.
What is it?
And then she can cure us. Oh, she has no force power left, so. And we probably looted these guys already. To the Sand People territory.
What?
All right. Let's head back. Alright, so we get this effect.
Master?
Let's see how good your demolitions is. Alright.
Your wish?
We can do that at least.
Master?
Master?
Sure.
Alright. Hey y'all, look at me, I'm a big deal. I killed a bunch of your people, but you still accept me as one of your own, because this game is weird. It's like they know we have to have killed their people to get those robes in the first place, so the fact that they're letting us get away with it is,
What is it?
weird. Alright,
What?
She's fully healed now. Alright. Yeah, remember where their shaman is. Was it in here? No, I think that was in our prisoner pen. I know, these were more prisoner pens. Here we go. A Sand People chieftain seems grateful to you, or at least less inclined to smash your head open like a pocky grub seed.
Query, what do you wish to ask of him, Master?
I want information on Sand People culture.
Protocol. This will be a very sensitive topic, Master. You will want to be careful with your questions or risk offending him. Not that that is much of a worry.
Tell me the history of your clan.
Translation. Translation. You have been told that to be considered worthy of hearing the histories, you need to bring him a dragon pearl from a Krayt dragon. Translation. He says the discussion is closed until you fulfill this condition. He thinks you are just making fun of his traditions.
Here is a dragon pearl.
Translation. Translation. He is stupefied, Master. He never thought you could return with such an item. Such a thing has not been done in many years. Translation. He will allow you to meet the storyteller, but also gives a warning. If you dare to repeat the histories incorrectly, you will be killed. Translation. The storyteller will be summoned to one of the rooms here in the Enclave. He seems to think this is a great honor for you, Master.
Farewell for now.
Translation. Translation. We are free to leave.
Item. Damn it, we do lose it. Oh, hey, the storyteller. Hello. Compared to the warriors that you have encountered, the Sand People storyteller is relatively calm in his movements and speech, but he still regards you coldly.
Translation. He identifies himself as the storyteller, Master. He has been told of your warrior skills and will speak the history to you.
I am honored. Ask him what he records.
Translation. Translation. There is only one accepted history, passed orally to each successive generation. Translation. A book or datapad can be taken away, cheapening the value of what it contains. To commit it to paper or storage is to remove it from the people.
What topics can I choose from?
Translation. Translation. You may choose to hear the history, or you may choose not to. Their history is a single entity that cannot be partitioned. Translation. The only exception is in continuing the tales once they have begun. If you leave, when you return, he will continue from where he left off.
We can tell them oral histories are often inaccurate, but obviously that's just going to piss them off, so begin the history.
Translation. Translation. It begins with the ancient times. They were not sand people, for there was no sand. The land was green with life, and they walked without wrappings. Translation. Though the land was beautiful, they lived apart from the land. They built their walls high and saw beyond the horizon. They dared to reach the stars. Translation. There are no words for how long ago this was. It was before the outsiders, before the abduction, before the cities fell, before the builders.
I want to ask questions about what I've heard.
Cautionary. I should warn you, Master, that any questioning of their interpretation may be seen as trying to change the meaning of what was said. Clarification. They may consider this to be speaking the words in error, a blasphemy they would attempt to kill you for.
I want to ask something about the ancient times.
Clarification. It would appear that they once had a thriving technologically advanced society, but were wiped out by a much more sophisticated alien species.
Ask him if these builders resemble any modern species.
Translation. Translation. He only understands the builders as an iconic force meant to test the resolve of his people. He is not making sense, Master. Clarification. They claim their stories are repeated unchanged, but they have demonized these builders. In their minds, they wreaked such havoc they could not possibly be flesh and blood.
Well, they're not going to have an image because that separates the history from the people. Can he clarify how long ago Tatooine was green with life?
Doubting. I don't believe he can, Master. Even if their stories are exact and unchanged, it is likely they were first told thousands of years after these events occurred. This has become very much like a creation myth for his people. There is no date. It simply was. Obedient. I will ask whatever you wish, Master.
Continue the history from where we left off.
Translation. Translation. His arrogant people touched the stars, and this sin drew the attention of the builders. The builders did not touch the stars, they lashed them to millstones. Translation. Great demons of metal stripped the world of its riches, until all that was left was the green of the ground. The great cities were lifted away. Translation. Those that had used the wealth were taken along with it. Transgressors abducted to serve past the sky, seeding the stars with penitent, adaptable slaves.
Alright, I want to ask questions about what I've heard.
Cautionary. Remember my warning, Master. They may consider certain questions to be speaking the words in error, a blasphemy they would attempt to kill you for.
I want to ask something about the time of enslavement.
Clarification. I believe they were occupied by this technologically superior species for a substantial period. Stripping an entire planet of usable resources would have taken generations.
And I will say I generally agree with HK-47's conclusions here, as they're the same ones I'm making myself, really. Well, we know why the invaders did this. There's why the invaders did this, and there's why they think the invaders did this. The real reason was power, resources, what it always is when a superior force takes something and occupies and enslaves a lesser force. So asking that would probably make them angry, because in their mind, they fucking told us why. Which, in their mind, it was sin. But how many of us people were taken off-world?
Translation. Translation, he has no number. He claims that those that were taken were examples of the worst of his kind, arrogant and uncaring of the land. Doubtful, Master. This is just another distortion due to their demonization of the builders. It's like claiming an aspect of his people were taken, not actual individuals. Clearly, history has colored his view. Of course, only the inferior meatbags were taken. The remaining were his ancestors, after all. It must have been special.
Yeah, pretty much what HK said there. And in fact, if we read between the lines a bit more, he said they took the ones who were not connected to the land. And if we put two and two together, I believe the builders are the species responsible for the forge, if I remember right. I forget if that's been established yet, but they are, basically. And obviously they would have, if they're building the forge, if they're building these star maps, if they're building these advanced facilities, they're going to want people who are technologically adept, who can learn, who can work, which would be the people removed from the land. All right, let's return to the history.
Obedient. I will ask whatever you wish, Master. Translation. Translation. There came a time when the builders were also judged for their crimes. After generations, a plague weakened them, and the time of the Great War began. Translation. The builders faltered, and his people realized why they had been punished, so that they understood the crime, and would now strike down the greater offender. Translation. They worked chaos in the machines, so they destroyed themselves. The builders fought back, laying waste to the green that had been misused with fire from above. Translation. Soil became glass, grinding to sand, but the fight was long planned, and his people were safe. Deep in cave homes carved from valley wall, they were free.
So what we can gather from there is they stripped Tatooine of basically all the usable metal, or most of the usable metal. So that's why there's not too many rich deposits left. And then they bombarded the world and turned it to glass, basically, which is why it's such a fucking dust bowl. And that bombardment probably irradiated altered the properties of what was left of the remaining metal, which is why that's found to be unusable and why it's unique to Tatooine, or relatively unique to Tatooine. I'm sure there are other worlds that suffered a similar fate. And I'd imagine that radiation probably also had an effect on the Sand People, not that they would be aware of it this many generations removed, but I can almost guarantee you they're probably... The masks and the clothes were probably originally for protection from the elements, from the sand and whatnot, but it probably also hides some disfigurement caused by radiation poisoning, which, I mean, they probably don't suffer the acute effects now, but there might be lasting genetic damage. Not enough to, make them infertile or anything like that, but it would partially explain some of the increased hostility. I mean, which, again, they have a right to be hostile. Their world is being invaded again and again, resources taken again and again, but they react with violence, not with attempting to talk peacefully or anything, which some of that's their history, and some of that could be potentially due to genetic damage that makes them more aggressive, but I want to ask questions about what I've heard.
Cautionary. Remember my warning, Master. They may consider certain questions to be speaking the words in error, a blasphemy they would attempt to kill you for.
I want to ask something about the Great War.
Clarification. The occupying force suffered some sort of species-wide plague that lowered their numbers over time. His people used this extended weakness to sabotage their larger ships. The response of the builders appears to have been to lay waste to the entire surface of Tatooine.
I like how they basically have HK-47 summarized it for people who can't read between the lines. What kind of weapon could do so much damage?
Clarification. I may not have properly conveyed how long they fought with the Builders. Given time, any number of armaments could destroy a world. Hypothesis. Perhaps this is another distortion. Their climate may have begun to fail due to their unrestrained development even before the Builders arrived. Looking back thousands of years later, such a shift could easily be attributed to the much-hated conquerors.
And while that's true, the Builders probably accelerated it. We're not going to suggest that possibility to them. How could they repel such a powerful species?
Doubting. They didn't, Master. They struck a blow, but the storyteller only believes they won because the Builders were gone when they emerged from their caves. That does not mean they defeated anyone. It seems clear that the Builders simply sterilized their problem and left. The enemy judged them not worthy to fight.
And it could be that there were other places that needed attention, other wars being fought. If the Tusken Raiders were rebelling, who knows who else was rebelling, so they are probably stretched thin and, like you said, glass the planet, move on. They thought that it wasn't worth occupying anymore. How could they survive such an attack?
Hypothesis. If his people were moving away from technology for a long time under the Builders, they may have had extensive cave systems that could grant shelter. I would also suggest that, given the evidence of the massive shift in the nature of their society, most of them did not survive.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. But no, this actually reminds me a little bit of, there's a Star Trek Voyager episode where, like, what's it called? Friendship 1 or something like that, where basically Earth sent out these friendship probes after they emitted warp drive and unified, saying, hey, here's how to build antimatter reactors, come join us, we're fun. And one of the probes ended up in the Delta Quadrant, and the Society built antimatter reactors. They also built antimatter weapons, and I forget if it was an accident or if it was intentional, but basically there was an accident or war that decimated the surface, poisoned everyone with radiation, so they were very hostile, very aggressive. Part of it was, yeah, they really weren't ready for that technology, and they realized it after the fact and blamed the Voyager crew, but they were also suffering from acute radiation poisoning at the time for generations because of how irradiated the surface was. Even in the caves, the radiation level was less, but it was still fucking them up to where they would have gone extinct within a couple generations. So that's kind of where I'm drawing some of my conclusions from too, just because it seems to be a little bit of a recurring theme. Anyways, let's get back to the history.
Obedient. I will ask whatever you wish, Master. Translation. Editing, if I may, Master. This section of his tale details several millennia of the Long Walk, their nomadic wanderings as they accept their identity in a desert world. Rather than strain my circuits on his dialect, might we just assume there was much fighting over who has the biggest bantha and move on to more recent things?
No, I want to hear it all.
Resignation. Very well, Master. Translation. The tribes spread far, distant from each other, but all as sand people and all cherished the land that remained. The sand would not be misused. Translation. Then machines fell from the stars again, outsiders like you that brazenly walked apart from the land. And greater still was the insult to come. Translation. These outsiders reminded them of their past transgression, of the time when they too walked apart from land. The outsiders, your kind, looked like their ancient abducted. Translation. So it is to the current sons that the Sand People hate all outsiders and give them no footing. You come again time after time, adaptable slaves to the machine. That's
interesting, because that's suggesting that obviously we're the technologically adapt ones that we got seeded by the builder, taken from here, seeded by the builders all over the galaxy. And obviously we must have rebelled elsewhere. But then now we come back because we're expanding and they're like, oh, hey, they look like how we used to look, which does kind of imply my theory about the radiation may be correct and that they have suffered genetic deterioration from the radiation, from the damage to the environment, yada yada. So they see us as them, but as the bad version of them that they think the builders excised from their society millennia ago. I want to ask questions about what I've heard.
Cautionary.
I want to ask about the long walk.
Impatience. Master, I refuse to inconvenience you with this. He spouted names of petty tribal fights in deserts so distant they might as well be across the galaxy. Really, Master, I'm sure it's important to him, but it has nothing of value that you could ever put to use.
We'll have to discuss this impudence, HK-47.
Agreement. Of course, Master. Just no more of their inane wandering. Obedient. I will ask whatever you wish, Master.
Whatever I wish, unless it's about the long walk. But I do appreciate what the developers are doing there. Obviously, they're focusing it on, like, hey, this is the parts of story that tie into the bigger story in our game, but this part's irrelevant, and we didn't want to bother with it, so we're going to skip it. Continue the history from where we left off.
Translation. Translation. The tribe spread far.
Okay, he said that. Is there anything further?
Editing. The last 1,000 years are full of conflicts with different groups of attempted planetary settlers, all of whom are poorly described, long dead, and likely untraceable. I believe I have truncated it down to the usable bits in what was already said. I hope it is enough, Master.
All right. Thank you for the honor of your story.
Translation. Translation. We are free to leave.
All right. Now is that? Oh, that's that. Okay, yeah. So we have basically completed that quest. So now we can return to the Ebon Hawk, and we are done here. And we didn't even have to kill them all. All right, so we did get some insight into the Sand People, and I don't know how much of that is still canon after the great Disney takeover, but it's definitely very interesting stuff, in my opinion. Imagine fucking Tatooine being the home of humans in the Star Wars galaxy. Which some of people wanting to come here might be greed, but I wonder if some of that is just like some sort of ancient longing for their homeworld that they don't even recognize they have. But yeah, this place is atrocious. I would not want to live here. I do not do well in heat. I typically run hot to begin with, so I would fucking die on Tatooine unless I was like in a refrigeration suit 24/7. I don't suppose I could fast. Oh, I can return to the Ebon Hawk. Good. I hate how it works like half the time and then it doesn't work the other half the time. All right, let's get back on the ship. And it's been probably long enough that we'll save talking with our companions for next time. But until then, thank you all for watching and stay tuned for next time and stay safe out there. And we'll see you then.